Hey, how's it going, guys? Here I have a KABA Gemini, which is an interesting lock because it has a grand total of 17 pins. You have 6 pins that ride along this bottom side here, 6 pins on one of those two sides, and the other remaining side has 5 pins. So you can see, if you can get a close-up, there are pins that meet in 3 different directions, from this right side, from this left side, and then from that underside right there. Now, not all of these pins are necessarily active pins, since they're either cut to a very short depth, or the drivers don't even have any springs. They're basically just solid plugs that make the key pin sit flush with the cylinder, with the plug. But makes for an interesting pick. So let's see if we can get this one open, and I'll show you how that works. So to get to these pins, I'm actually going to be using this deep flag, this deep hook flag, and I'm actually just going to be using the back of that flag to start pressing up against on both sides. So I'm going to start with one side, and we're just going to keep on rotating between that left side, that right side, and the bottom. See if we can get an open. And the reason that I'm using the backs of these flags is just so that it doesn't get caught up once I get a pin pushed in, because I've noticed that these pins are put in at such a distance from this bottom part here that if I'm using the actual tip of the flag, that it'll get hooked up inside that pin slot if I do end up oversetting, and just makes for a difficult pick, even more difficult than it already is. And so this way I can just very gently ease those pins into place without worrying about getting my flag hooked up inside of that key pin slot. So again, I'm just bouncing between these sides, trying to see if I can set any of the pins on either of these sides, and then once I feel like I don't have anything that I can set on either side, then I'll attack those pins on the bottom and just rinse and repeat. So I'm just testing to see if anything's pushing into place. I don't feel anything. There was a small click on that last pin on that left side. Just go through them again. Okay, I'm keeping that tension, bounce back to that right side. Go through those one more time, see if I missed anything. Okay, so I'm not feeling anything along that right side now. So now I'm just gonna take, this is the short SS Dev pick, and I'm just gonna use that to try and prod down those pins that are along those bottoms, one at a time, all the way from the back. I felt a little bit of movement on the core there, so I'm just gonna feel around that bottom, feel those pins, see if I can set any of those down there. Give it one more go, and then I'll switch over to getting to one of those sides again. So I felt a little click on that very back pin right there. Okay, so now let's go back to that left side now. Switch over to that right side. Okay, so there's that left side again, and bounce back to the right side, and then we'll tack that bottom. I'm using moderate tension here. I'm not really using very light tension, nor am I using very heavy tension. These pins don't really need too much to stick, but once they overset, then it could be an issue. Okay, so I'm not feeling anything anymore, so let's go back to those bottom pins. I'm sort of feeling along, see if I can feel where those pins are. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to that left side. There's a little click on, I think that's second pin on that right side. I felt a little bit of core movement. bottom. It's really just a matter of bouncing between each set of these pins, checking to see what's binding. I'm definitely feeling a little something on the core once I'm pushing these pins. Just a little bit at a time, every now and then. Okay, let's go back to those side pins. little bit of a click, a little bit of core movement. A little click and a little bit of core movement. The name of the game with this lock is Patience. There we go, another click, bit of core movement. Try these bottom pins again. And there we go. We have an open. So as you can see, it did take me a little while, but it's just a matter of stick-to-itiveness, persistence, and methodologically attacking those pins, I suppose. Let's see if I can get a little bit of light in here. Let's get our pinning stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take off that C-clip. Unfortunately, didn't get out any of my pinning equipment here. So we're doing this in real time. Okay, so I don't want to turn that all the way. I want to sort of keep it in that position. Otherwise, those driver pins are going to sneak up into those side pins there. Yeah. So it looks like those driver pins have popped up into that, into the keyway. So let's see if we can't force those back in. Sure hope I didn't brick this, guys. Well, let's just see if we can't gut it like this. How about that? This is not going to be pretty in any way. Okay. Well, yeah, so it looks like I'm just going to have to gut this, and those driver pins are going to have to fall out, but I'll show you that all the key pins are populated. So, let us begin. Just going to grab my tweezers. I might be able to save some of these drivers. No, now that I think about it. Oh, there we go. I think we're saved, except for that one driver that doesn't want to seem to pop back down into its slot. Let's see if we can't just pull that one out. Okay, well, that might just be a lost cause. So in that case, we're just going to deal with them as they come. So I'll take these key pins out as they come along. So we're going to start with that right side. Get that middle. And then that left side. So I'm just going to start taking them out in that order. So again, we got that right. And left. You can see here's one of those drivers that's getting stuck, and you start to see them shooting out from that back side. So again, so right. There's that middle. There's a driver. That left side. I'm not sure where that one came from. We'll figure it out eventually. So here's number 4 from that top. And number 3. Got number 4. Get another driver that popped out from the back there. I just got pins falling out all over the place. So there are all those drivers. I'm just gonna scoop them all out. I'll figure out where exactly they go later. Well, it looks like I made a mess of everything, guys, but I'll figure out how to put this all back together if I actually do decide to put it back together again, because this thing is a pain. Alrighty, so let's see. I'm just going to organize these by count. I'm not even going to bother to try and figure out exactly where each of these go. At least not on camera. I'll take care of that at a later point. But as you can see, there are let me see if I can just get you guys to see this here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and it looks like we might be missing one somewhere. Unless I just miscounted. Ah, there we go. There's number 17. Looks like a little driver. So we had 6 on top. So again, I don't even know if this is exactly where each one of these goes, but I'll figure that out at some point. But you can see there's a difference between each of these key pins, which look like actual little pins with their pointed ends. The driver pins themselves are basically just springs with caps on them. So I don't know if you can see that there. And then some of these pin slots even just have these little brass plugs that actually just sit flush with the surface of that driver pin hole. So I'm going to have to decide whether or not I actually want to put this one back together. But as you can see, it is not an easy pick per se, unless you attack it from a very methodical standpoint. So that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys later. See ya.